Good evening, YouTube. Welcome in Sunday night. DutyRon checking in. Welcome into the live viewers, the replay viewers, the people watching from all over the world. Appreciate you guys coming on in. Hope everyone had a great weekend. It is Sunday night here in New York City. So another end to a fast weekend. Vacations, holidays, and weekends are all the same way, too short. Good evening, Black Rose. First one in. Thank you for coming in. Hi, Colleen. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining, guys. I'm going to wait. Actually, I'm going to invite a couple of people on Twitter. Give me 2 seconds. We got a topic that I don't speak about much because I promised you guys that I wouldn't speak about Chris Watts unless there was new information. April 29th or April 30th, some new information came out. I waited 6 days or so to talk about it. I'm here to just talk very quick about it. This is not going to be a long video. This will be quick. Hi, Joe Schmo. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Kim. Welcome in. Good to see everybody. Hi, Anna. Good to see you. Hi, Michelle. Cindy. Crystal Dawn. Watkins Foster. Hi, how are you? Welcome in from Australia. I wonder what time it is. What time is it there in Australia? Hi, Paula. Good to see you. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for joining, guys. Hi, Mimi. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Let me just do a little bit of housekeeping here real quick. Stand by. This will not be a long video. I promise. This will not be long. Okay, here we go. 2 seconds. Hi, nurse. Hi, Nurse Nana. How are you? All right, let's do it. Let's get the show going. Come on now. All right, here we go. Thanks, guys. Hi, Leanne. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. All right, here we go. I'm just going to do a quick invite, and then we'll be on our way. Short and sweet. I'll be right to the point. Okay, I just created a public post, and let me share it onto Twitter. If you guys don't mind, please invite your followers, share it out on Twitter, so this way the masses could see it, and I won't have to answer a whole bunch of questions and answers at the end of this video. Once I'm done with it, you guys, I think, will have a complete and full view from a retired New York City police detective. So let me give you my background. I served 20 years in the New York City Police Department. I worked in the Fugitive Enforcement Division. What the Fugitive Enforcement Division was in charge of doing. Happy Cinco de Mayo to everybody as well. Hi, Erin. Good to see you. Fugitive Enforcement is exactly what it is. We would go out and pick people up who were on the run from being released on bail from court, or if they skipped out on a court date. These were all people who were wanted for serious crimes. Felony crimes, we would go out. Our squad was charged with going out and picking these people up. So I've had many conversations with women and men who have spent a lot of time in jail, some that spent time in jail and then recommitted new crimes and knew what jail time was like and didn't want to go back, and therefore they went out on the run. My squad was taxed with bringing these people to justice. We were also taxed with going on a trip and going to another state and picking up criminals from other states. So my involvement on the criminal end was pretty deep because we got to talk to these inmates when we would pick them up, say we'd leave New York and go down to Georgia and pick up a criminal who was wanted in New York for a felony. They would go on the run and leave the state and go out of state thinking that they would be safe there. They'd get picked up by Georgia authorities. They would hold them for us, and then we would take a flight down there, pick them up. And so we would have long conversations with these inmates, and we would talk to them. So I got a really good vibe of what goes on inside jails and how jail life is. I've spent many hours, thousands of hours inside jails waiting to leave with my prisoner. If there was a count going on or if there was some kind of fight inside the jails, we would be stuck in there for a really long time. So I know what inside jail life is about. I know the struggles that go on there. I've talked to many corrections officers. I've spoken to many jail wardens. So I know the whole inner workings of jail. Hi, Antimone. How are you? Good to see everybody. I see a lot of new faces, a lot of new people. Hi, Terry Schulman. Thank you for joining. So I have extensive experience in and out of jails. Like I said, part of my job was going in and out of jails and picking people up from outside jurisdictions. So outside jurisdictions, you got a really good idea of how inmates were housed, how they were treated, and the inside struggles. When we would have someone in a car on a car trip, say if we pick somebody up from high upstate New York, and we'd have a 5-hour, 6-hour drive or more in a car, we would have conversations with them. So we would hear about inside jail life. So now that I got a decent amount of people listening, I just want to give you I know that a lot of people have heard already, the chances of Chris Watts appealing his death sentence is zero. It's 0.0. 0.0. Okay. You may have heard this out there, or you may have read about it, but all inmates, especially in the state of Colorado, I've looked into the state of Colorado's laws. They have up until sentencing, 45 days up until sentencing, or even as close as sentencing time to object. But once the sentence is imposed by a judge, 0.0, yes, Meg. Once a judge says sentence imposed and take charge, when those two words are uttered, sentence imposed and then take charge to the correction officers or the court officers, you cannot say, oh, hold time out, hold on, I want to do over here. You can't do that. So his legal process has already come and gone. So trust me on this, because I know it. I know it for a fact. I know many criminal defense attorneys because I worked closely with the criminal defense attorneys. I worked close with the district attorney's office. He will not get out. There is you have a better chance of seeing God before he would get out. He had his legal right to withdraw his guilty plea was 45 days prior to the sentence. And if his lawyer put a motion forward at sentencing, yes, that 35C rule. Max Cobras, I didn't want to start throwing fancy numbers at you, but the law is the law, and I do know it. I know the process, and like I said, the bottom line here, guys, welcome in from Philly. Thank you for joining. I've seen you in the lives before, Edwin. Stay safe out there, and much love and respect to all my fellow men and women of law enforcement and all of the jailers, the corrections officers, the sheriffs, the jailers, whatever you want to call them. I call them COs here in New York, the corrections officers. They got a tough job. We lock them up and bring them in off the streets, but then they have to house them for the rest of their lives. So it's not an easy job. So I tip my cap to my fellow correction officers, men and women, doing that job. It's not an easy job. It's not an easy job. So thank you for everyone actually being in here on the chat. But like I said, guys, take it from me. He had that period of time where his defense attorney could have filed a motion for him to withdraw his guilty plea, and that has come and gone. So this People magazine article, they should be ashamed of themselves. That is garbage, trash. I would put that on the level of like the National Enquirer or some rag magazine. I mean, I was surprised at People magazine putting that out. I read it, the day that it came out, but I never spoke about it because I wanted to just take it all in, and I wanted to see what the fallout would be from it. And basically, anybody that knows anything about law knows that is just not possible. Okay, here's some of the small possibilities that he had going forward. This is some of the small possibilities, and these are minute. If he was to claim that his admission of guilt and his guilty plea was coerced or forced or tortured, he was tortured, and his attorney, ill-advised him, then he would have a very slim slither of possibility where he could put something forward. Just understand this, guys. The chances of that happening, don't anybody hold on to any of that. The chances of that happening, I would say, is 99.99% that he won't be able to do that for financial reasons, and also the court won't entertain it. Let me tell you also, too, a lot of the prisoners and inmates that I've had many, many hours of contact with, many, many hours of conversation with, they talk about this thing called jailhouse lawyers. Now, jailhouse lawyers are fellow inmates who are serving life sentences or serving heavy sentences, and they all of a sudden become the jailhouse law crew. They go into the library and they take out the law books and they read up and down. Now, most of these guys don't have really high education, so they're really not understanding the things that they read, and they misconstrue a lot of the law that they read, and they think that they're afforded these rights. Some of them might, might have an intelligence level where they understand it, but a lot of them don't. So it's a constant thing that goes on within correctional institutions. It's jailhouse lawyers, guys. So he is probably talking to a bunch of jailhouse lawyers that are giving him really bad information, and that is, he's holding on to that. So take that also into this equation. We used to, when we were on the streets and we would make arrests as cops, we would hear from a lot of backyard lawyers. And it was funny that the cops referred to the criminals in the street that were dealing drugs and all the bad guys. We used to call them backyard lawyers. But when you get into jail, now they're jailhouse lawyers. So, they get, Chris Watts is probably getting fed a lot of misinformation. And you know what? He's a 35-year-old. I don't even know how old he is, 33, 35. He's a piece of garbage in my eyes, obviously. He is probably saying to himself, he's got every waking moment to think about this and think about, I have now more than what I've been alive to spend in jail. In other words, another 50 or whatever, 60 years, however long this clown lives for. He's 30, so if he lives 50, it'd be 80. So he could potentially live 50 to 60 more years in jail. So he's thinking, wow, is there any slither of hope that I can hold on to get out of here? Because I don't want to be, I don't want to become a Twan instead of a Don. He used to be a Don with the ladies, right? He was a ladies guy. Now he's thinking he's going to have to become a Twan, if you know what I mean. So jail stuff for the rest of your life with a bunch of men is probably not something that he's looking forward to. So he's got a lot of time on his hands. To think, to read, to listen to nonsense and chatter that is going on in the jail system. So this guy is probably, scratching his head and saying, you know what, let me pull at any kind of bits of straw, any kind of needle in the haystack. But really, take it from me, guys. I'm not going to say this many times. I won't speak about this again. I did my last video on Chris Watts right after the Dr. Phil interview. I made a statement in after that Dr. Phil video that the interview, the thing that was on Dr. Phil. I said I won't speak about this again. I said I won't speak about it again, and I held to it. And the only way I said I would speak again about it is if there was new information. Now, this is new information, but it is not good information. It's misinformation. There is no possible way. I am the police, as it says right here. You, police, that is me. As I was saying, there's no chance that he would get it to have an appeal against his sentence. Once the judge imposes that sentence and hits that mallet and says, take charge, he's done. He's a done deal. There is no timeouts. Yeah, he got buyer's remorse. He's got that buyer's remorse syndrome. That, oh my God, I just pled guilty to murdering my wife, my 2 children, and my unborn son. I'm never going to see the light of day again. Now he's just reaching for anything. You know what I mean? So that's what we're dealing with here with the Watts situation. I'm not going to speak about it again after this. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. Hi, Michelle Johnson. Hello, Michelle Vogel. DutyRon, I love this plate right behind me. Yes, that was sent in to me by one of my good friends, Matt Sully. Him and his daughter had the "You Police" sign made up. So that was sent to me at my P.O. box by Matt Sully. I thank you for that. I don't think he's here tonight, but much love to you, Matt, and your daughter for taking out the time to create that sign for me. The graphics are great. I love my, where the hell is it? There it is. I love this, and this is awesome. This is awesome. So again, the Chris Watts situation. Hello from SLC, Utah. How are you doing, Susan Steele? Anybody that's new in here, let me know where you're watching, city and state. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. My name is Ron. I am a retired New York City police detective. I worked in the Fugitive Enforcement Squad in the NYPD. It is the Warrant Division, the Warrant Squad. So I've got a lot of, things. I got a lot of knowledge and things and stories to tell you about the inside and on the outside. When we would go after these guys and girls, and we would bring them back. When we would bring them back, I've traveled to Albany County Jail many times, Jason. I've picked up many prisoners right outside the airport there in Albany. I've been to the Albany Jail many, many a times, and that's a 185-mile drive. And we would drive them back down to New York, and we'd have conversations with them. So pretty cool. Hello, Joanne. Good to see you. Good to see you from O Radio Canada. Thank you for joining. Watching from Jamestown, New York, says Heather Davis. Thank you so much, Heather, for tuning in tonight. Quebec, Canada, says Isabel. Good to see you. Hello from Sweden, Mary. Thank you for joining. Kristen is coming in from California. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. So I'm going to take a quick 10-minute Q&A or less, hopefully less than 10 minutes. Hello from Chicago. Good to see you. Interested. Brenda, thank you for joining. Snow remover. I don't want to see any more snow. We're back into the spring and nice warmer weather. Hi, Addie's mom. Thank you for joining, guys. Good to see you. Thank you, Yvette. Thank you for that. I'm going to take, guys, here's right out of my merch store, the DutyRon coffee mug, complete with the badge of honor. This is the detective's badge. That comes right out of my merch store. So if you want to grab up some DutyRon merch, it's an actual replica of this sign right here. This is exactly replica. The only thing this doesn't do is light up. Hello from Kansas. Hello, Oklahoma. Hello, South Africa. Southern Florida. Good to see you. Thank you for joining in on the chat. Good to see everybody. Hello from Colorado. Good to see you, Colorado. Call 911. Call 911. I know that was just a joke, but like anybody that wants to put that in the chat and make a joke about something serious like that, that's a good way to get yourself blocked. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to make stupid comments, you're going to wind up getting yourself eliminated from my channel. That's a very serious thing. I don't even recommend anybody talk about something like that unless it's really happening. And I don't think you'd spend the time on YouTube to make a comment like that if it really was happening. But great to see everybody. Chris Watts, there is 0.00 chance that he would ever be able to get, that he would ever appeal. He cannot legally do it. He could say that he was coerced into making his guilty plea and putting in the guilty plea, but he'd have to say that his lawyer, his own defense team, forced him into making that that plea, and that's not going to fly in any court. I know Denver is not going to have anything to do with that. The criminal justice system there will immediately crush that. So yeah, put the police light on the mug, and Emily Ireland will pick one up. So there you go. So let's take a couple of minutes of Q&A. Hi, Jody from up in Buffalo. Good to see you. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. Frank, I agree. We're taxed. Law enforcement is taxed with removing evil from the streets. We want to take evil and bring them to justice. So good to see you from Elmira. I've seen you before. Welcome back to the channel. Good to see you. Good to see you, Yeshiva. Black Rose, thank you for all the, thank you for putting up all the posts. Hello, Miss Justice. So 5 minutes of a Q&A, and then I'm going to end this. I'm going to end the broadcast because there's really not much more to talk about. So go ahead with the questions. I can only answer one at a time, so I will take them as I see them. Good evening, Kathy from Texas. Thank you for joining. Hello, Patricia. Yes, slow mode is on. Slow mode is on. Hi from Los Angeles. Good to see you. Watts belongs behind bars for life. I agree 1,000%. Michelle, thank you. I appreciate you being in here. Hi, Cookie Hill. I've been just thinking about you. Cookie Hill, I was thinking about you. What is up with you? Where have you been? Is everything okay? Thank you, Para. Thank you, Para Junkie. I appreciate that. Desiree, good to see you. Where have you been, Desiree? Where are you? Where have you been? How's your fiance? How's everything going? I hope you're all well. Criminals don't usually have publicists, but if their family wants to pay for one, any publicist will take anybody's money. Think about it. If I'm in the contracting business and your husband goes to jail and your wife wants to pay me to fix her house up, I'm going to take the money and do the job. Think about it, right? So if anybody wants to pay a publicist, that's their business. They're going to take the money. It's like a landscaper, you coming up to a landscaper and saying, hey, could you cut my grass? I'd like to pay you. And then the guy would say, no, your husband's in jail. I don't want to take that money. So it's a business. Publicist is a business. You know, look at Jussie Smollett. His publicist still works for him, and he's a clown. So he will rot in jail. Mark my words. Guys, I would bet my pension on it, and I got a pretty good pension. I would bet my pension on it that he will rot in jail. His demise will come in an institution, in a correctional institution. That's a guarantee. Unless he breaks out, his demise is going to be in a correctional institution. Your husband is amazing. Congratulations on your wedding. Congratulations, congratulations, congratulations. He's working nonstop. I did the same thing when I first got married. I was never home. If you haven't clicked the like button, please do so. Thank you. Guys, if you're not following me, subscribe to my website. Go check out DutyRon.com. Subscribe to me here. Hit the notification bell. Go check out my Twitter and Instagram, DutyRon, all across the board, DutyRon. Hello, Renee Scott. Good to see you. Can you tell your most interesting story in your career? Emily, I'm going to save that for another broadcast. I would rather not tell my stories on a Chris Watts video. I hope you understand that. But I do have plenty of stories to tell. I have plenty of good stuff. I just don't want to waste it on this garbage. I hope you understand that. He doesn't deserve me to speak about my career on a video that I'm trying to educate everybody on. There's my P.O. box. Thank you so much. What do you think about Mommy Ramblings? I don't even know who she is, to be honest with you, Robin. I don't know what that question is. Desiree, neither of us are ever home. That's how it goes when you first get married. Hi, Katie. Good to see you, Katie. Thanks for joining. I don't think, Anna, that there's any people involved that can be arrested. I know that question is alluding, Anna, towards NK. And NK, if she was going to be arrested, would have already been behind bars. I've said this many times. If they had, listen, for police officers to make a summary arrest, for a police officer to make a summary arrest, you need probable cause. For a detective to make a summary arrest, you need PC. If you don't have probable cause, you can't make an arrest because the district attorney who's charged with charging that person with a crime will decline to prosecute. It's called a DP. If you get a DP on your record as a cop, it's not good. Okay. DP, a decline to prosecute is not good because then the person that you've arrested can now sue the police officer or detective for false imprisonment. So nobody likes to get a DP. So let me just give you guys a little background on that. So if NK was arrestable and they had probable cause, substantial evidence to effect a lawful arrest, she would have been handcuffed behind the back and brought into jail. Okay? So that does not exist. So therefore, we could speculate. You want to ask me, do I think she had something to do with this? I think she knew about it. I think she knew of the plan. But knowing, me speculating that she knows doesn't give the right to make the arrest. So that's how that goes. So ladies and gentlemen, those are not the words that you want to hear, but that is the truth. That is the truth coming from a law enforcement standpoint. And any attorney will tell you the same thing. Southern Belle says, I've been married for 24 years. About to be total empty nester. Hey, welcome to the club. Welcome to the club. Do grand juries help prevent decline prosecutors? Thank you for your service and the channel. Astro, grand juries do not help the decline to prosecute, because I stopped the chat. So don't put any messages in the chat because you'll be wasting your time. I stopped the chat right here, so I'm not looking. Basically, decline to prosecute starts before you go to grand jury. If the prosecutor, the district attorney, declines to prosecute, it doesn't ever get to the grand jury. So the answer to that is no. All right, let me look again. More chat. Jody, that's not going to happen. That money part is one small facet of it. The money part is what you need to hire an attorney to look at everything, to see if you could actually file an appeal. And you'd have to, the attorney would have to, the new attorney would have to put in his old attorney and have him testify that, he'd have to be cross-examined, and it would have to be a whole hearing. Did you force my new client to make a guilty plea? And that's not the case. He willingly pled guilty under the advice of an attorney. The attorney probably told him, there's an overwhelming amount of evidence against you. You already gave a confession. You're screwed. There's no possible way we can effectively go and defend you in a trial. But if he got a really good attorney, like a real shyster, a real, Johnny Cochran kind of attorney, and I'm using that word because Johnny Cochran, very famous, may he rest in peace, he represented O.J. Simpson. That kind of attorney would have probably told him, hey, let's try to fight this. Let's give yourself a chance to fight this and not plead guilty. But his attorney probably saw the evidence and said, there's no way that we're going to win this. You can't say, well, because he told me that, I was forced into it. He, on his own accord, based on the evidence, based on the advice of his attorney, pled guilty. And there's no way that you can prove that he was coerced into that. His attorney didn't put a gun to his head and say, hey, you got to plead guilty to this. He did it on his own. So the whole process went very fast. For me in law enforcement, I've never seen a murder case like this, so noteworthy, go that fast, but it did, and I was happy it did. I'll tell you why I was happy. I was happy for the victim's family. I was happy for the victim's family, and I was happy for the victims. May they all rest in peace, and may their souls, go. Obviously, they went straight to heaven. May they rest in peace. If this was a long, drawn-out trial, that would be more mental anguish and torture for her family, for her parents, for everybody involved, So for me, I was happy that it happened quick. So there's no drawn-out nonsense, So guys, we have to say thank you. Thank you, God, that this jackass, that this Chris Watts pled guilty and spared the family of the victims, all of the people involved, the money that it would cost to run a trial like that, the circus, the media circus that would go on, and all of that stuff. Forget about it. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. A guy like him deserves to be locked up for the rest of his life and the key thrown away. And I hope he gets his ass kicked in jail. These are my opinions. I don't want a gang mentality about this, but I hope he gets jailhouse justice. I hope a couple of inmates have their way with him and give him the business. And I don't think that he deserves an easy run. I want him to have every day to have a severe struggle. I want every day to be a struggle for this guy. And I would tell you this, I've seen the insides. I don't care about Wisconsin. I don't care about Colorado. I've seen the insides of jails from all over the United States. I haven't been in Wisconsin and I haven't been to Colorado, but I can tell you that the inside of any correctional facility where they're housing murderers is not a pleasant place. It's not a Holiday Inn or a Holiday Inn Express or a Ramada or a Hilton. It's anything near that. Everything is a struggle, from going to meal, to going on break, to going to shower, to everything they tell you when to do everything. You can never do anything on your own. You are told everything to do. The only thing that you could do on your own is go to the bathroom, and you can go to the bathroom on your own, but you got to do it in front of somebody, your cellmate, inside your cell. Plenty do, Kathy, but not all. Not all do, but plenty do. So, and listen, there's also a chance that he may kill himself inside the jail. He may kill himself inside prison. That happens a lot too. I don't care about his mom. I don't, Jody, all of that is irrelevant. What I care about is that the savage animal, the savage beast that took these people, these innocent, his wife, his two daughters, his two beautiful kids, and his unborn son, the person who committed this crime is behind bars. And that's all I care about. That's all I care about. Hold on a second. 2 seconds, guys. Okay. So let me, isn't he in protective custody? He's not in protective custody, and not to my knowledge, and it doesn't matter. I don't care if he's in protective custody or not. Honestly, this is just my opinion. I know that he's in jail, and in jail is not a comfortable place. Whether you're in PC or you're in, if he's in PC, which I doubt he is, he won't last there long. They're not going to house him in protective custody for his whole entire time. That only lasts a small period of time. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I'm glad that you got in on the Twitter link. When detectives went down to see Chris Watts jail, he was at. All right. Anyways, so let's just put this all to bed. The chances of him appealing his guilty plea and his sentence for life in prison are 0.00. Exactly, Shannon. I don't want to spend any more time on this. This is 32 minutes too long. I think that you guys all understand what I'm saying here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit the subscribe button. Please give the video a thumbs up. I'm giving you valid, straightforward information with no fluff. If that's what you get here on my channel, you're going to get information from a retired New York City police detective. You're going to get a professional opinion from somebody who has been inside jails. I've spent a lot of time, a lot of man hours inside jails waiting for my subject to come and get released to my custody to be taken back to New York City. I put prisoners on airplanes, on commercial airlines. I've driven from outside of New York State into Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New Hampshire. I've driven and picked up prisoners. So I've had many long car rides where I've spoke to people who have done 10-year bids, 15-year bids, have been in jail for 15 years, and I pick their brains apart about what it's like inside, and it sucks. They don't want to go back. They don't want to go back, and there's a good reason why. Those are moderators, Morgan. Those are moderators, the Blue Wrenches. The Blue Wrenches are a few trusted people that I have to moderate the comments. Hey, Duty Ryan, good to see you, bud. How are you? This is information coming from a person who has firsthand. I put handcuffs on people who have taken other people's lives. Thank you, Kathy F., for the super love. I don't call it super chat, it's super love. Thank you for the super love. I appreciate that, Kathy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and thank you for your super love. So I put handcuffs on people who have taken other people's lives. I've had personal conversations with inmates who have done many, many years in jail. And the Chris Watts is not having a grand old time. Chris Watts may have the pictures of his children that he killed and his wife in his jail cell, and that is up to the actual warden of the jail. So the warden of his facility is allowing him to have them. If it was here in New York and anywhere in New York State, I could tell you unequivocally, he will not. If he was housed in New York, anywhere in the state, that would not happen in New York State. My brother can't wait to retire. Lynn, I can't wait for him to retire. Tell him to stay safe from a fellow brother in blue in New York City. Tell him I said stay safe and be careful out there. Or if he's in the jails, be careful. Corrections officers have a really tough job, a very tough job. Heading to Kenya, Africa for 2 weeks. be careful. Have a good time. Be careful. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. They'll be here when you get back, Mr. Yeshiva. So, anyways, any more questions or answers? Any more questions that you have for me? You got the S10. So did Joey. Joey Brooklyn got the S10. How do you like it? How do you like it, kid? There you go, Monka. Do you think they messed up somewhere with NK? That would just be a guess, Robin. But I would have to say, because the feds are involved, when the FBI is involved, I've worked closely with the FBI. They dot their I's and cross their T's. They dot their I's and they cross their T's. And they really do a thorough job. So I don't think that they did anything wrong with this case. They didn't have enough evidence. They had no probable cause to make an arrest, and that's why. So, you know, I personally, and I may be wrong, but I feel that the feds, I know that they do a very thorough job. If I had a family member who was killed or a horrific case, God forbid, like this, I would want the feds involved. And if I knew they were involved, I knew that they would be, you know, no stone would be left unturned, and they would look at every possible lead. This happened in Colorado, Kim. In Colorado. So. No, they look the same. They look the same. Nice to see you, says Michelle Vogel to Duty Ryan. That's awesome. Good to see you, Auntie Lane, in the building. Why and when does the FBI step in, says Emily. Very good question. The FBI gets asked by the local authority who's investigating the case, and then the governor of that state will ask for the FBI. So you need the state police and you need the local to request, and they don't. It's not a guarantee. The FBI looks at the case, they look at what they have, and then they say yes or no. Tracy says, DutyRon, I can't understand the rest of that. Trust you are well. I am good. I don't know what the ELLO. I think you're saying hello, darling. Trust all is well. Thank you for that, Tracy. I think I just cracked your code. Thank you for that. That was very kind of you. So yeah, FBI they need to be requested by a chain of command. Kathy, is that a follow-up? I'm not sure what you're saying. Children missing or kidnapped. That's not the topic of this broadcast. What do you think about Baltimore mayor resigning? Again, Kim, it's not the topic of this broadcast, but I have no comment either way on that. I have no comment either way because I don't know anything about it. If the mayor resigned, then I'm sure there's something good behind it. But again, let's stick to the topic. Let's stick to Chris Watts and what we're talking about his attempt or possible appeal of his murder conviction. It's 0.00, and that's all I'm going to say about it. He has a 0% chance of that happening. And anybody from the law enforcement field will tell you that, and also a criminal defense attorney. Any criminal defense attorney will tell you right away. Hogwash. So good to see you. Hello, Nicole Knox. Good to see you. Subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. Check out my Twitter and Instagram, DutyRon, all across the board. Go to DutyRon.com. Black Rose, if you're still here, could you put that up? DutyRon.com. You can get links to everything DutyRon at my website. https DutyRon.com. You don't have to put www, or you could just put it in your Google search. I also have links there to the Watts case. I have links to Karina Vetrano. I have links to Janine Camerata, which is the current case that I'm talking about. Hello, good to see you. Thank you for joining. So again, guys, there's plenty of information on my website, DutyRon, DutyRon.com. Go check it out. I have links to the New York City Police Department on there, where you can get also links for domestic violence, for a lot of cyber crimes tips. There's links to the FBI through the NYPD Cyber Crimes Unit. I worked in that unit for a little while, so please go and check out my website. There's links to a lot of great law enforcement resources. Don't forget, I still have really strong ties into all law enforcement connections. So I keep in contact with all my law enforcement counterparts throughout the NYPD. I stay up to date on current laws, and I do keep in contact with all of my law enforcement counterparts. There you go. There's my Patreon. I have a Patreon, which is on my website as well. So it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. I wanted to put this to bed because let me tell you something. Thank you, Yeshiva. I've received numerous emails and questions about this new, well, it's not new. It's from April 29th. So April 29th or April 30th, this People magazine bogus article, which was just drummed up to I don't even know what the what the meaning was behind it, but it was just ridiculous. Hello, Tori. Good to see you. Tori Hartman is in the building. Thank you for joining. Everyone go subscribe to Tori Hartman if you want to get another vantage of another viewpoint and how can I say this best? From a woman's perspective and someone who's intuitive. If you want to go and get a great perspective from Tori Hartman, go subscribe to her channel. She's right here. Everybody knows her. She's a very friendly, very kind, very honest person. I implore each and every one of you to go and check out her channel. You won't regret it because I have met her in person. She's the real deal, and she is really, as she says, truth bumps come out all the time. She is awesome, really, really good. I really do, and I endorse Tori Hartman 1,000,000%. She is awesome. So, guys, at the end of the day, Chris Watts' chance of appeal of his already imposed life sentence is 0.00. The chances of him going through this 35C hearing where he says he was coerced into it, then that is a 99.99% chance that that won't happen. Forget about drumming up money. Forget about getting a new lawyers and a new team of defense attorneys. That is all not going to happen, and I'd bet my pension on it. There's my good friend, Paper Angel ASMR. I am, yes, it says you police right here. So, guys, thank you for posting my links. Thank you for being good friends. I'm going to just do 2 more minutes of Q&As. I know there was a couple of questions that went by. I have slow mode on, but it went by pretty fast. I think there's about 160, 150 people in the chat. I know this is I don't go live talking about this often, but I told you the next time I would go live if there was new information. And this is new information as far as I'm concerned, and I wanted to put it to bed for those of you who are still hanging on to a slither of hope for whatever reason. If you're thinking that this is something that could happen, when I said a slither of hope, I meant basically you panic that this could happen. He did sign his rights away, Tori. I spoke about it earlier in this broadcast. You have up until sentence and 45 days prior to say that you want to withdraw your guilty plea. Once the sentence is imposed by the judge, Tori, and he hits that hammer and says, take charge, you're done. There's no, hey, time out. I got buyer's remorse. Hold on. I have a second, a day later or while you're taken into the back. Whoa. Wait a minute. I want to plead not guilty. No. Once the judge says sentence imposed and says take charge to the court officers, you're a wrap. It's done. Legally, you have no recourse. You have zero. And I know that from being around the legal system for 20 plus years. And I know a ton of criminal defense attorneys who are my friends. And I've spoken. I've actually got double confirmation before I went live to speak about this. About 2 weeks ago, when it first broke, I called my buddy who's a criminal defense attorney. And he was like, Ron, no, done. He even looked up Colorado's law and said, no, under Colorado, you have 45 days prior. It says fugitive enforcement. I didn't iron it, Tori. I'm sorry, I didn't iron it. So it says fugitive enforcement. Let me get it. Let me get it in. Let me get it in. There you go. Yeah, fugitive enforcement. This is the warrant squad. Right inside the middle, it says warrant squad. So, fugitive enforcement. Anyways, so yes, I did a collaboration with Tori Hartman. If you guys didn't go and see that replay, go on to her website. Go on to her channel. Check out her channel. She put up a new upload tonight. Go check out her videos and like and subscribe to Tori. All right, guys, I'm done with the combo. So if anybody doesn't have anything more, I'm going to say good night to everybody. Again, remember, hug your loved ones. Cherish the people who you love. Reach out and always extend a kind hand. YouTube, let me just say this. YouTubers, I have to tell you, be kind to each other. Support other content creators. Support each other. Don't go at each other. Be good people. We are better than that. We're only here for a very short period of time. So let's all be kind to each other. Let's play nice and let's enjoy this free application called YouTube. Let's enjoy it and let's be respectful. All right, guys? So thank you to everyone who has been in here. I respect your time. I respect you guys. Leave me some comments in the comment section below after the video. God bless each and every one of you. I wish you guys all a great week coming up and good things to you and yours. From DutyRon to your house, from my house to yours, have a great evening and God bless.